This thing finally looks like a sprint car again and is ready to get back on the racetrack. It is awesome to finally have this thing back together. We are headed back to the Skagit Speedway this Thursday for another awesome race. Last weekend, the results just weren't there. We didn't have that great of a night. You know, we started off with some awesome speed, qualified 9th, missed that top 8 by 1 spot, had a great heat race where once again we made some solid laps, and then it all went downhill in the A-main event when I just made a mistake running 6th with a lot of speed, ripping the top side a little bit higher than everyone else, and it just bit me a little bit and ended up tearing up the race car. Fortunate enough, we put in about 12 hours this week in the shop to get it all fixed up. I know I told you guys I would give you an update on all the broken parts, and I do want to apologize. I wanted to document some sort of way of us repairing it. It's really hard to make a vlog of repairing the race car because in order to get stuff done, you know, this kind of takes up a little bit of time, and on wash days I'm able to do that. But when I'm working on the race car, I really need to focus and make sure I'm getting my job done properly so this thing is back together properly. In the future, though, I promise you guys, if we have any incidents or us just working in the shop, I'm going to do my best to bring you guys some videos like that. Probably just some time lapses and some cool stuff like that. Maybe put together a little bit of an edit of what's going on. Now, though, we're going to get this video started with loading the trailer. Like I said, so happy this thing's back in one piece. To recap some of the broken parts that we had, obviously, we have another top wing on this thing. This is not brand new. This is just the one that was off our limited car. Then we tore up a few radius rods, had to put in a new front axle. Thankfully, the rear end is fine. This is the same rear end that we wrecked last week. I think kind of in the incident, we just kind of squared up the wall and it didn't really tear up too much. Did have to put some new rear arms on it. Also tore up the Jacob's ladder, and if any of you guys are involved in sprint car racing, the one thing that really hurt that it bent was the titanium brake rotor, so it's whatever. Fortunate enough, we had a spare in the trailer, and most of the things that we tore up, we had a spare, so just fortunate enough we're able to get this thing back together quickly and get it back on the track. But anyway, my dad had a little bit of spare time in between his work schedule, so we're gonna get this thing loaded back up. He's gonna head back to work for a little bit, and then we'll be headed to Skagit later tonight.
I'm using my favorite tool, my chassis airbag. Now if you watch the sprint car, it'll start raising up when it gets 20 pounds in there, and then it won't bounce on the shocks. Just like that. Shut the air off, throw it in the seat. Now it doesn't bounce going down the road.
Got a long ways to go, so we got to keep this thing not moving. It ain't going anywhere. My dad absolutely loves that thing. He bought it during the off season, and we've used it ever since. And it's only, like I said, kept this car in one place. It does not bounce around at all in the trailer. Got all the merch loaded up top there. Lately, I've been getting asked this question a lot. Tanner, where can I get some merchandise? Well, of course, if you're at one of our local racetracks here in the Pacific Northwest, we always bring the merchandise to the track with us so you can purchase it there. If you're not local and maybe you're from across the United States, anywhere, wherever you're located at, you can go to www.tannerhomes.com and purchase all my merchandise there. Everything that we've ever came out with will be on that website. It's not different merchandise from what we have at the racetrack. So if you've seen all of our stuff at the racetrack, that's exactly what's on the online store. Anyway, go check it out. The link will always be at the top of the description. And I know with kind of no fans, no spectators, or limited, it's tough to maybe get to the racetrack if you are here locally. So stop by our website and you guys can support from home. So today was like any typical load the trailer type video. We just pushed the car in, got it all strapped down, and now is ready to head north. But I did want to talk about a few other things before we ended it, and that is showing you guys some of the latest and greatest products that I have for safety gear. So as many of you guys know, for the 2020 season, I have partnered up with Pit Stop USA. Pit Stop USA is one of the leading distributors for safety gear in the racing world. You guys can head over to their website and check out all the gear that they offer, from gloves to head and neck restraints to fire suits and much more. Now, they also have a huge selection of parts that can also go on the race car, which you can check out. In today's video, though, I'm going to be showing you some of the new racing gear that I have. Now, as many of you know, racing gear is super important. Once you strap into these high horsepowered race cars, you want to be protected because a lot of crazy things can happen, like what happened to me at Skagit, where I ended up upside down. All my safety gear needed to protect me in that moment, as it did. Now, also, having this nice gear helps our parents feel a little bit less nervous while they're watching us fly around the racetrack. I would always preach to people, I know it's expensive, but try to buy nice suits, try to buy nice helmets, head and neck restraints, underwear. That's a key one for if there's a fire in the cockpit. All that stuff will help protect you during harmful situations out there on the track. Now, on to some of the safety gear that I just recently got through Pit Stop USA. The first one starting with the new head and neck restraint. I just recently got one of the Simpson hybrids. These things are so nice, and in my opinion, probably the best head and neck restraint you can get out on the market. If you're unfamiliar with the hybrid, I'll put it on. You guys have probably seen it in most of my videos, but it just slips right around your shoulders and around your chest. It clicks. And then the two clips up here just clip right into your helmet. In an incident where you maybe do end upside down or take a hard hit to the wall, your head will not move. If you saw any of the photos or the onboard footage from my flip at Skagit, my head barely moved at all. Having this is super important while racing. I recently got a new one because my other one just got too small. It was an extra small. Now I moved into a small, but we're still going to send it back to get recertified and get some new belts on it and sell it here soon. The next item is something that I actually go through quite frequently, and if you race a lot, you always kind of have to have a few pairs of these, and that are some new Alpine Stars racing gloves. Now, as many of you guys know, I absolutely love to have white gloves for a few different reasons. The main being when you guys are watching my onboard camera, you can see my hands, and then also when I'm rewatching it, trying to study stuff, or, like I said, trying to make some good content, I can see what's going on inside the cockpit. Now, these are new. I wore that hybrid a few races. I didn't get a chance to do an unboxing with any of this stuff. That's why I want to show it to you guys right now. But these things are brand spanking new. The first time they will hit the racetrack will be the day you are watching this video. So my Alpine Stars gloves here are obviously white, red, and black. That will go pretty good with the sprint car. It'll go even better with the factory QRC car. And like I said, I got these through Pit Stop USA. Now, these are pretty dirty, because I've already worn them a few times. I showed them to you in a recent video at Skagit. I believe that was maybe our second week of Thursday Night Thunder. I just kind of gave you a quick look at them. These are my new Alpine Stars shoes. I previously had a pair that were just absolutely beat up. I wore them probably for about a season and a half, and like I said, if you do a lot of racing, you will go through shoes very quickly. Previously, I'd really only done Simpson. This was my first pair of Alpine Stars shoes, and I've been super impressed. They're so comfortable on the inside. Like I said, mine are a little bit dirty here, but I really like the non-laces. This form is way better, and then have a little bit of Velcro here. My shoes are always tight. I don't have to adjust them at all throughout the night. Now, this last item, I did not get these through Pit Stop USA, but it was something cool that I really wanted to show you. You get these through Racing Radios back on the East Coast in Mooresville, North Carolina. And I also made a whole YouTube video on this talking about the best headphones to wear for your receiver in racing. These are the custom mold Racing Radios headphones. These things are so incredibly nice. I got a new pair because what ended up happening is the ones I had previously, I had them since I was like, 13, 12 years old. So they're 3 or 4 years. They're just getting to the point where they just don't work anymore. The life was gone in them. And what's so cool about what they do at Racing Radios is since they did the molds right there, they still have all my molds, and it's not like I had to send in another sample or anything. They just, made me another pair exactly to what they had on file. And they fit great, so I'm excited to get these back out on the racetrack. You can hear so well with these, very, very clear, and it'll be nice to have them plugged into my receiver this weekend. So that's just some of the gear that I had. I wanted to show you guys that. I know Pit Stop USA, like I said, they've been helping us a bunch throughout the year. I unfortunately wrecked the nose wing with the Pit Stop USA sticker on them, so we got some of those. We put them on earlier.
Does that look centered?
Looks about right.
Do 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 do.
Looks good. I think my dad would agree with me. Our least favorite thing to do in the race shop is put stickers on the race car. It doesn't work out well, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
I'm not a sticker guy.
Check this out. We put on our tail tank stickers like 2 weeks ago. No good. No good. Can't tell in the photos, but no good. And then also, for any of you guys wondering what happened to the nose wing last week, here it is. That's also no good. That was our first Pit Stop USA stickers that we put on like 2 weeks ago. Thankfully, though, we got some new ones in for the other nose wings. Anyway, though, thought that'd be fun to share with you guys today. I just want to thank you for all the support this past week. My videos have been doing really, really well. A lot of you guys have been tuning in. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more content, please hit that subscribe button. If you guys have been here for a while, I just want to thank you. And one last side note to end today's video, racing, as we know, is a very dangerous sport, but it's also something we're so passionate about, we couldn't live without, we put so much effort into, and it's such a humbling thing to do in the racing community that we have, is just something that's so special. So I just want to leave that off with you guys today. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. We will be back at Skagit chasing that first 360 sprint car win. See you all there. Deuces.